All right, guys, so today we're going to do a granny square that's continuous, and that is a 50-50 color shot. So I have a tutorial on normal granny squares and how I make my granny squares that my grandma taught me. So with, starting in the circle, and then you work your way all the way around. And then there are certain blankets that you may want to have like half of the color to be able to make certain shapes or just a different pattern, diamonds, whatever you want to do. So I have a granny square that I have one of two things that you can do. And based on whether or not you want it to be more of a rounded area or if you want it to be more of a pointed area will depend on how you want to complete your chain in your corners based on the color. It depends on what you want to do. So I will show you at that point where you want to change your colors, but for the most part, it's actually pretty easy, and it's continuous, so there's minimal yarn changing and just how you turn your work so that they can look the same when you go to put them together. So when you, put your colors together, you'll have a line. So what I'm gonna show you is, if you need help with basic stitches, see my other tutorials, but go ahead and start with a slip stitch. I am using a bulky yarn, and I am using a 13M, which is a 9.0 millimeter. See that there? 9.0. All right, so go ahead and chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch in that first chain. Slip stitch, and then you have your ring. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do 2 double crochets in the circle. So that's 1, 2. So that's a total of 3 double crochets. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 more double crochets in the circle. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so this is normally where we would keep going. So we would do another chain 3, and then we would do another chain, 3 double crochets, and we chain 3 and do another 3 double crochets if we were doing the same color. But since we're going to be changing colors, we're going to let go of that. We're going to take our secondary color. So you have your tail. You're going to just apply pressure in between the 2 tails that you have, your working yarn that you just let go of, and your new collar. You're going to grab it and chain 1 with the new collar, 2 and 3. Take your other collar that you just switched from and pull tight. Take your new color that you're working with and pull tight, just so that it's nice and tight at the base, okay? So make sure that your tail is out of the way and that your other color is out of the way, but don't cut. Now you're going to do 3 double crochets in the circle. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 more double crochets in the circle. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So what we're going to do now is we are going to make a slip stitch into that first chain 3. So not in the top of the chain 2, but in the top crochet of the chain 3. So insert, slip stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is where it changes. Normally, if we were doing a normal granny square, we would just keep going in the same. But what we're gonna do to change color, since we're working in the gray, and so we don't have to switch colors again, is we're going to flip our work around. And now we're going to work in the correct. So you have a chain 3, so that's 1 double crochet, and we're gonna do 2 more in this space. So do 2 double crochets, chain 1, and now we're going to come over to the next corner. 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 more double crochets in the same corner, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now you're going to come over, and this corner is, see, you got 50-50, you got red and you got gray. You're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now you're going to switch back to red because now we're on the red half. So drop your gray in the background or your other color, take the red, make it your working yarn, and now do a double crochet in the same space that you did your 3 double crochets. So you're still working in that corner, but now you're going to turn it into red. So take your yarn, pull over, and go into that space, and then pull up the loop. Now this might come loose, so make sure that you take the yarn that you left and pull it tight, okay? So you wanna make sure that this stays tight against this, okay? So with your red working yarn, now that that's tight, you're gonna do 2 more double crochets. 1, 2, chain 1. And then come over to the other corner, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 3, 3 more double crochets to make your corner, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, and now you're back to the corner where you've already done 3 in the gray, so now you need to do 3 in the red. It's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to attach to the top of that first chain 3. So go in, slip stitch to the top, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now you can see that we have a 50-50. Wonderful. So now we're going to continue one more round, turn your work because we're in the red, and now we need to go. You have 1, so now we need to do 2 more in the space, 2 more double crochets, 1, 2, chain 1, and now you're going to work in the middle space. You're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now you're going to come over to the red corner. You're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 3 more double crochets in the same corner, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. Now you're going to work in the middle 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. And then now you're over to the corner that you're going to make 3 red double crochets, 1, nope, 2, and 3. Now, with this being the very top, if you want your squares to be more pointed as opposed to rounded, if you want it rounded, you're going to chain 3 red ones right now. If you want it to be more pointed, you're going to switch your color over and chain 3 black ones. But I've been doing more rounded, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 red ones. I'm going to drop my red. I'm going to pick up my black or my gray, and then I'm going to do 3 double crochets of gray in the same space that I just did my 3 reds. So I'm going to switch my colors. I'm going to loop over, and I'm going to do 3 double crochets. 1. Again, if this comes loose, take the red, pull it tight, okay? That's 2. That's 3. Chain 1. So there you have your 2 contrast colors to change your, and then you're going to come into the center. You're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. Sorry, my yarn is being difficult. You're going to come over to your last corner. You're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 more, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then you're going to come over to the next space. You're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now you're going to come into the very last space. You've already got your 3 reds, so now you're going to do your 3 grays. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And then slip stitch into the top of the last chain of the red. And then this is where you'll tie off. And then so you can see that you have half red and half gray, and it's all continuous. So you'll have one end here to tie off. You'll have one end here to sew in, and you'll have one end here to sew into the red. And you sew them in just normally like you would any other granny square. So, you know, normally when I take my end, I'll weave it in, down and around. Same with the red. You don't want to put it in through the gray because it could pop through at some point. So you want to take the red tail, you want to weave it into the red areas and tie it off. And then when you're all done, you will have a granny square that is 50-50. Nice and easy. All right, guys. enjoy your crocheting.